Good morning and welcome to Osijek. We're back once again, but this time the turn of the senior finals over the next 4 days here at the European Championships over 10 metres. Thank you very much for joining us on our live streams. If you're on YouTube, then you can like and subscribe the channel. That way you always get the updates and notifications of our broadcasts. And you can follow us on social media as well. So Instagram is ESC Shooting. And then on Facebook, just search for European Shooting Confederation. And likewise, do the same on YouTube. We're about to get underway with our first final of the day. Here is the schedule. So local time, 12 p.m. That's in 10 minutes' time. Current local time here in Osijek is 11:50. So the first event, the air pistol women. And then we'll move on to the air pistol men at 1:30. And then later today, we have the air rifle mixed team event, and that's coming up at 3:15. So a packed day. Do stick with us for as many finals as you can. It's great to have your company. My name is Rory McAllister. Hello and welcome along. So in terms of the videos, if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, then it's just a thumbs up, a like. That's what we're after. Either way, if you're left or right-handed, it doesn't matter. Just hit the like button and subscribe. And thanks very much for joining us for these finals. So the distance is 10 metres, and the bullseye down the other end, 11.5 millimetres. I know it almost sounds impossible, but I'm sure we're about to see some world-class pistol shooting in front of us. Weight of the pistol, anything up to 1.5 kilos. And this is why this event is so tricky, just with muscle memory and the rhythm and movement of trying to keep the pistol out there with your shot rhythm, trying to bring your qualification form and how you've been in training, bringing it all to the final. And that's just the physical side of things. There's the mental stress of shooting as well and competing alongside some of these names, because at this European Championships, it's world class. So there's our QR codes, just to make life easy for you with your camera on your smartphone or tablet. We'll keep them on screen long enough for you. Just tap and follow through to the social media, and that way you can keep up to date with everything that's happening. And thanks very much, as I said, for coming along. Do leave your comments of support as well. Let us know where you're watching, not only around the world, but also who you're here to support, and we'll try and get through as many comments on the live chat as we possibly can. And coaches just making their way into the finals hall. And the Chief Ranger Officer, Petar Plavšić of Croatia, has called the athletes to the line. Well, we had a great week last week with the junior competitions. If you joined us for some of those, then again, we saw some very exciting finals, some very dramatic mixed teams matches as well. And again, a really high standard from the juniors as well, so encouraging. We also heard as well from the president, Mr. Alexander Ratner, that shooting would be part of the next Youth Olympic Festival, which is coming up in a few years' time. 2027 is the next one. So just so good to hear that shooting's involved in that European Youth Olympic Festival, and just giving the juniors at least, and I think even athletes as young as the under-16s and under-18s, just a chance to compete on a world level. So first out, a very familiar face. This is Zorana Runovic, now 28 years old, and with her elder sister moving to China as a coach. Her coach today is Goran Mikec, the elder brother of Damir. So next out is Miroslava Mincheva, 25 years old, representing Bulgaria. So Kamil Jedrzejewski of France is next, still only 22 years old. And again, her medal cabinet is something to behold. Big cheers as well from the French team. So this is a real moment for 30-year-old Filipa Marechal of Portugal. She's competed at World Championships and at European Championship level, and is now here in this final in Osijek. And looks pretty happy and relaxed to be here, which is always a good state of mind to be in. Veronika Major of Hungary is next, now 27. And also competes at 25 metres as well, as does Jedrzejewski. And Arunovic has also competed over 25s, but all of these competitions are over 10 metres over the next 4 days. So Elmira Karapatin from Armenia is next.
On firing point B, representing Turkey. Turkey, mixed team silver medalist from
So Şevval İlayda Taran is next from Turkey. Her younger sister competed last week during the juniors, so I did have a quick chat with her in the preparation area before and said, "You're feeling the pressure?" She said, "Yes, of course. I've got to now match my sister. It's a family affair." And last to come out on firing point A. Again, another world-class athlete and has achieved so much. Antoaneta Kostaninova representing Bulgaria. So 2 athletes from Bulgaria in this one. Serbia, France, Portugal, Hungary, Armenia and Turkey are the other countries represented. Now, just as the jury get their introduction. So Petar Plavčić of Croatia, a CRO, not only with the country code for Croatia, but a CRO for Chief Range Officer. So a double CRO, really. And Petar was the Chief Range Officer for all of the junior finals last week. And he's a very good CRO as well. Really knows his stuff, which of course helps. You need that when you're a Chief Range Officer after all. So here's just a look at qualification earlier on today in the qualification hall. So the 5 minutes of preparation and starting time has begun. That's how it finished in qualification earlier on today. And also, just to give you then a glimpse of the qualification hall on that highlights reel that we've just watched. And it gives you an idea of just how different it is here in the finals hall. The lights are an awful lot brighter and it's much more of an arena and intense as well. So after qualification, that's how they line up from firing point A right down to H, with 2 athletes from Bulgaria making this final, and they'll be the hosts of this 10-metre European Championships next year. So I've seen a lot of officials and people from the Bulgarian Shooting Federation very much here enjoying this in Osijek and looking forward to hosting it next year. So here's Antoaneta Kostadinova. There's that silver medal from Tokyo. I remember being announcer for that final, and it was looking for a moment there that Antoaneta may even get the gold. But on that day, it was silver, and to have an Olympic silver medal, it's there in the history books forever, and that's just amongst the other medals that she has. I mean, for example, 7 World Cup golds. So Sheva Elida Taran. Again, I was commentator that day for the mixed team when herself and Youssef Dikets, who went viral, we all know what happened with Youssef, but that silver medal for Turkey, with Serbia taking the gold with Damir Mikets and Zorana Arunovic. And I don't think any of us will ever forget the celebrations there, and it was a wonderful moment also for Youssef as well, and for Sheva Elida Taran. So Elmira Karpatyan of Armenia. There's that bronze medal from Tallinn. I was commentator that day 2 years ago. It's still fresh in the memory. There were some great finals at Tallinn. And she took that gold medal at the Rio World Cup as well, plus the gold medal at the Rio Olympic qualifier last year as well, 2024. Here's Veronica Mayor, who also shoots over 25 metres. She was 8th in the Olympic final. Did think perhaps she'd perform better, but when it switched to the 25s, that's where at the Paris Olympic Games Veronica took the bronze medal. And she also has gold medals in World Cups and World Championships across all events. Used to do running target as well, and still only 27 years old. So here's Filipa Marechal of Portugal. And by her own admission as well, has done so well to make this final. She's competed at World Championships before and previous European Championships, and now alongside her father, nice to get a wave as well from Jose.
They responded very well, but I would like to ask if we have a bit of...
So Kamil Jadrodetsky, only 22 years old. I just still find it baffling that she's just achieved so much. That silver medal in front of her home crowd in Châteauroux at the Paris Olympic Games last year, that was in the 25 metres, but has plenty of medals across 10 metres as well. And in the 25 metre discipline, being clapped along by Walter Lapierre, the coach. There's so many medals to Camille's name. So 2 more to go. And just before we get to Zorana Arunovic, the second athlete from Bulgaria on firing point G, Miroslava Mincheva. Is 25 years old. Silver medalist at the World Championships as a junior, across 25 metres at Seoul. That was my first event for juniors as announcer as well that day. And she's got gold medals in World Cup team events, gold medals in 25 metres at the European Championships. And Boris Dimitrov is her coach. And then finally, the very familiar name in a final like this, Zorana Arunovic, now 38 years old. No longer has her elder sister Yelena as coach. Goran Mikets, you see in the background. And just look at that ridiculous, I mean, amazing amount of medals. It's like, Zorana, enough already. But I'm sure herself and Goran very much will be looking forward to a medal today, perhaps. We'll have to see who will make the podium, who will have to go away with nothing but a visit in the final. So Zorana, currently the world number 2, behind Kim Yaji, who again set the internet on fire last year with all of the viral videos. It was great for shooting, wasn't it? I mean, who'd have thought that the world of shooting would have had 2 massive viral videos in 1 year. So this is the 10-metre air pistol women's final at the European Championships over 10 metres, live from Osijek, Croatia. And we're now about to get underway. 10.9 is the highest individual score. just do love watching Antoinetta shoot because of her leading eye being right-handed, but her strongest eye being her left. And I'd find that really tricky, almost to sort of shoot across, as Taran next door to her slams in a 10.9. And that just shows you the standard that we've got here in this very hushed arena. It's gone very quiet. So most of the athletes now with 3 shots in. And just going through the rhythm, the shot rhythm. You see those moulded handles as well. I mean, as far as the temperature's concerned in here, they will have the towels out the front, but they weren't needed that much during the juniors. The only thing that's caught us all out is the outdoor weather. It's got very hot. Of course, that then comes in and affects the finals hall. But overall, the temperature is just about right. So as far as sweat's concerned and trying to keep a dry hand, most of the athletes should be okay. So you see Malasho there, deep intake of breath to then hold for the shot. So Taran still to shoot a 5th, also with Arunovic now completed. And Zorana over that 50 score. Konstantinova 51.1. That's a great first 5-shot series. And Malasho also has a chance to get over 50. And does so with a flat 10, so that's 50.6. So it's Konstantinova who leads for Bulgaria at the moment. A very impressive first 5-shot series. A gap already of 0.5 between first and second. And then some of the other differences speak for themselves. Tied for third is Taran and Arunovic. And then you can see some of those other differences right down to 8th place with Veronica Mayor. Well, if you're on YouTube, thanks very much for joining in with the live chat. Hi to Addy, who's watching from New York. It's very early over there, Addy. You're very, very keen to get involved. Lewis as well from Portugal. And Jelena Arunovic is on as well. Hello from China. Well, hello to you, Jelena. We're very much missing you here, but hope it's going well for you in the Far East. Thanks to Ibrahim, who's here with Turkish flags, supporting Turkey. Thanks to Doris. A very nice comment from Shahina Ahmed as well. Thank you for that. Someone give me a raise. That would be nice. Hello to Mateus. Plenty of French flags. Also to Cristal, to Hannah, Catherine, Dr. Regina. We've got a doctor here. So many of you in the live chat. Do keep it coming. Hello to Michael Ray as well, who's watching from Las Vegas. So now this next series of 5 shots. Gordon Mikets keeping notes. Such a tricky discipline this, just trying to hold that pistol out as steady as possible. Just making sure your feet are in the right place, your balance all the way up your body. Breathing is so important. And then timing, and then the mental focus and concentration as well. It's what makes shooting so difficult. And I think sometimes when people are watching it, I mean, for those of you obviously that know the sport well, then you know this, but for others, I think at the likes of the Olympic Games, when they pop on and have a look, it can look a lot easier than it is. You see the face there of Walter Lapierre after Camille's 9.2, and it's always interesting to see the coaches as well. They're looking at the body movement of the athletes and how they're shooting and trying to instill those things that they've been working on in training. So fairly consistent shooting from Kostadinova, who was leading this competition after the first series of 5 shots. Uh, 9.9s on Anna, not happy with that one. He's on a total of 98.6. So Runovic was tied for 3rd place, now finds herself tied for 4th. So let's have a look and see how it's all adjusted. This is how it was looking after 5 shots. And once we make the adjustment after 10, then 3 athletes on 100 or more. And Kostadinova continues to lead. She had a first series of 51.1 and now followed that second series of 5 with 49.6. Madasho is having a great show so far. In 3rd place, 0.3 behind Taran of Turkey. And then, as I said, there's that tie for 4th. So the live chat, a true international audience as well. Dr. Regina saying hi from the Philippines. Well, thanks very much for joining in. Christina's here as well. Also Teng as well. Zeni. We've got Teodora. I think it's pronounced Theodora, isn't it? Well, there's Serbian flags there anyway. We've got a real balance of support as well on the live chat as we now move to the individual shots. So after shot 12, that'll be our first elimination. 50 seconds this time per individual shot. Crowd getting involved early, which is always nice. Well, this is when it starts to get tasty, isn't it? So at the moment, Karapetyan has some real work ahead of her. 0.3 behind Veronica Major in 7th place. She's 2 behind Arunovic of Serbia. Now, things can swing around quite quickly. At this level, though, a difference of 3.0. Would that swing? It's unlikely, but you never know. Here we go, 50 seconds to decide the fate of who will leave this final in 8th place. Well, a decent shot from Karapetyan, 10.2. And now we have our first elimination, and it's firing point C representing Armenia. Elmira Karapanyan will be leaving this final with a total of 113.6. So waves to the crowd, which is always nice to see. Disappointed, of course, and takes a seat to watch the rest of this final. But it's still an amazing achievement to get to the European Championship final. So 7 left. Taran has taken the lead by 0.6. Mincheva just in there in third, just 0.1 behind. Those are the narrow margins. So this is shot 13. Next elimination after shot 14. Taran now continues to lead. He's 0.7 in front. Kostadinova tied for third. And Marachaux from Portugal just doing ever so well, because this is really the first major final like this that she's competed in. I mean, she's been to World Championships and European Championships in the past, but is up against some of the world's best here in Osijek.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
Next elimination coming up. Veronika Major of Hungary, 1.5 behind Jedrzejewski. Both now on our screen. Jedrzejewski with that 9.8 has done enough to stay in this final. Veronika Major of Hungary will be next to leave in 7th. So the bronze medalist from the Paris Olympic Games in the 25 metres now leaves this 10-metre final at the European Championships in 7th.
For the next competition shot, load.
So Sheva Ilara Taran stays at the top. There's now a gap of 1.2. Some of those other gaps though between third down to 6th. This scoreboard could move around quite quickly. Great shot from the Runovic there. She needs that to try and get up the scoreboard. 10.3. Meanwhile, a 10.7 from the competition leader. And Taran, just throughout the first 2 series of 5 shots, was there or thereabouts. And once it turned to the individual shots, has climbed up to the top and now has a gap at the top of 2.0. As I said, with Zorana Runovic's shot of 10.3, that's launched her up to 2nd place. I did think this scoreboard will move around quite a bit, because now the differences from 3rd down to 6th are very narrow, particularly for pistol shooting.
Start.
So next elimination, Kostadinova, who was leading this competition, 0.2 in front of Jedrzejewski and 9.3. Antoaneta cannot believe that. And 9.6 from Jedrzejewski. And the French athlete is finished 0.1 behind, so Kostadinova will move on to the next stage of this final. Meanwhile, the Olympic silver medalist over 25 metres. What a final that was as well. So much pressure on Camille that day in Châteauroux. And you just wonder what she's capable of in the future, particularly over 25 metres. That competition for the Europeans will come up in Châteauroux in July later this year, when the 25, 50 metres and 300 metres are competed against.
Start.
Just saw a shot of Céline Gobaville, part of the French team. So Kostadinova going from leading this competition to now 0.5 behind in 4th place. Meanwhile, Taran is away and clear, 2.7 in front. Well, all shots in the 10s.
With only 0.5 difference, she's now facing elimination, but there is only.
So Marasho of Portugal. Fantastic performance so far from the 30-year-old. I wonder what's going through the mind of her father, her coach, just sitting behind her. She's down to the final 5.
For the next competition shot. Load. Start.
The crowd get involved. The next shot to eliminate 5th place. And with these differences, we could even have a shoot-off here or there, who knows? Taran now just to take a shot. It's a 9.4. Ooh, ouch. But the next elimination, Kostadinova of Bulgaria in 5th place, who is leading this competition throughout the first 2 5-shot series and shooting so well. But for the Tokyo Olympic silver medalist, now 39 years old, gold medals, 7 of them at World Cups, 4 European Championship silvers, and 1 bronze medal at European Championships. Today for Antoaneta Kostadinova, it's 5th place. So Arunovic, will she close that gap of 2.5? Taran in some ways out on her own at the moment as we go down to the final 4. Next 2 shots to eliminate 4th. Oh, and an 8.5 from Malachau. Arunovic with a 9.2. Oh, and Taran has slammed in a 10.5. At this stage of the final, it now increases the gap to 3.8. Meanwhile, Malachau 1.8 behind in 4th place. So much support on the YouTube live chat. Thanks to all of you for getting involved with your emojis and the international audience we've got watching in the States, watching in the Philippines, from all over the place. I appreciate if you're watching this final back at a later time, then you're unable to take part in the live chat, but you can still load it up and have a look through the comments. So the gap of 1.8, let's see what happens here. And another shot in the 10s from Taran to increase that gap now to 4.1. Meanwhile, Marasho in her first major final. Someone has to finish off the podium, and for Filipa Marasho, that's why she's getting such a big cheer from the Portuguese team, and congratulated by her father as well. Nice to see so much family love. Oh, isn't that lovely? Well, there's a lot of family connections in the world of shooting, and Felipe Marachaux, 30 years old, made the final here, but has to leave in fourth. Shooting can be such a cruel sport. So we're down to the final three. We know the medalists: Bulgaria, Serbia and Turkey. Zorana Arunovic is in the silver medal position by 0.1. Mincheva with a 9.2. Arunovic this time, decent shot, needed that at this stage of the final to try and hang on to second place. The gap at the top, Taran with that 9.4. It was 4.1, now reduced to 3.2.
Second place, Darhan strongly in the first place.
For the next competition shot, load.
So the destiny of the bronze medal to be decided over the next 50 seconds.
Start.
Mincheva likely to shoot first. Does so, that's a 10. Arunovic needs an 8.9 or higher. Oh, 10.1. Teran still to shoot. And a 9.9, it's enough to keep the lead. It's been a great display by Taran. So here is our bronze medalist, first medal of the day. And Bulgaria have the first medal of day one of the senior competitions at the European Championships. Live for you here from Osijek. And isn't that so nice to see as well? Boris Dimitrov, the coach, straight in with a hug. And Miroslava Mincheva of Bulgaria finishes on a total of 216.9 and bags the bronze medal. So if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook at the moment, that applause is for you. Our announcer, Christina, just making sure you're recognised at home or wherever you are. Just these days with smartphones, you can watch wherever you like. So 2 shots to decide gold. There's that gap between Tarhan and Arunovic. Both of them in that mixed final at the Paris Olympic Games. On that occasion, Arunovic took the gold for Serbia. Turkey had the silver. And Taran with a 9.5. The gap is now 2.5 in what could be the final shot. Well, there's a hush that's just gone around the finals hall here. Taran, you can see, feeling this. This is tough, even when you are 2.5 in front.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
And concentration on Zorana Arunovic's face. Meanwhile, Tarhan now just turns to the target. Oh, 10.5 from Zorana. And her reaction as well says it all. Fist pumping the air. Oh, Tarhan with a 10.1. Look at the reaction there. So from that mixed team final at the Paris Olympic Games, when it came down to Serbia versus Turkey, now there's a bit of a reverse. Of course, Damir Mikets and Jusef Dikets are missing because this is an individual final, but look at Zorana straight over. Huge hugs as well, and congratulations. So nice to see. The mutual respect for these athletes is off the scale. So Seval İlayda Tarhan of Turkey, I spoke to her before the final and said, do you feel the pressure because your sister was here last week achieving so much? And she says, yeah, boy do I feel it. And now there you are. Turkey on day one have the first gold medal of the European Championships over 10 metres. So now the medalists lined up and we'll await the official announcements.
The bronze medal, representing Bulgaria, Miroslava Micha.
So the bronze medalist for Bulgaria, Miroslava Mincheva, 25 years old.
The silver medalist, representing Serbia, Zorana Arunovic.
Well, Zorana Arunovic did very well actually to get the silver medal, because at one point, I think she dropped down to about, was it 6th or 5th, or was certainly tied for 4th at one point. And look at the reaction there. Seval İlayda Tarhan is the gold medalist and the European champion. Well, jubilant scenes here, and claps from Youssef Dikets. As I said, it was missing from the field of play because it's not a mixed team, but in the crowd cheering on Seval İlayda Tarhan. Whew, well, what a final that was. Can we even bear to look back at the highlights and relive all of that all over again? I think so. Well, what a tense final in so many places. I mean, it really had it all. The scoreboard was moving around all over the place after the first two series of 5. And then for the likes of Zorana Arunovic to just get up the scoreboard and get in there with a silver medal. Mincheva of Bulgaria finished with the bronze, and a performance from Tarhan that was just off the scale to take the gold medal for Turkey. So here's our schedule for the rest of the day. We're back at 1:30 local time here in Croatia. The turn of the men for the air pistol, and then later this afternoon, 3:15 local time, the air rifle mixed team. That's how it's shaping up for day one. You can join us on the ESC video stream on YouTube. Thank you very much to those of you who did join in, particularly on the live chat as well. So good to see your comments of support. And if you're on Facebook, thank you very much for watching. And we'll be back later on today. The next final starts in just under 1 hour, and we're on air in the next 45 minutes. So for now, cheerio. See you later. Hello, beautiful girl.